All right, guys, I'm back from Blade Show, so I figured I would shoot a video, but first we'll start with what's in my pocket. I've got my SMF hybrid, Gunner Grip hybrid here. I got this one out for a specific reason. You'll see a little bit later, maybe not in this video. Don't have a lot of time and I want to get to the point. So let's get straight to the point. What did I pick up this year? Now, usually I don't pick anything up, but this year I came home with a few things. So first thing is, and if you're not familiar with this product, it's a great product, works very well for cleaning knives. It's Aegis Solutions EDCI, and they used to have an HDCI, but I don't know if they're still making that. You can look them up. The company just recently went back into business under new management. I won't spend a lot of time on that. I also was lucky enough to be gifted one of these Zach Wood pry and pops in 3V steel. Very, very nice gift. If you guys remember a few videos back, I was talking about how much I like these pries, and I was lucky enough that one of my friends gifted me one. So that's the next thing I picked up. Another small item. This here is probably literally the last Muslin Micarta 71. GEC is at the show, and I stopped by, saw Chris, and I can't remember the other young lady's name. She's the one who mixes all the dyes for the bone handles, and she also does some other things with handles, but I know she specifically mixes the dye. So when I picked this one up, Chris told me that this was the last one that they had, and if you know, all of the retailers are already sold out of these, so I'm assuming this is literally the last Muslin Micarta GEC bullnose. And usually these farm and field knives have a little bit rougher fit and finish, but you can see the centering is perfect. There's no blade wobble. The only thing that I could find is, and I know that most of the time, these are proud on these farm and field knives, the rivets here or the pins here, but this one feels a little bit sharp, a little bit sharper than normal. So that's the only issue I could find with it. But other than that, I'm assuming that this was the demo knife and they picked out a pretty good specimen. Now, the big thing that I picked up was this S&G here, and I wasn't going to pick this up. I've been very fortunate. I've got tons and tons and tons of Striders, S&Gs, SMFs, PTs, the Baby Huey, Black Blade, Stonewash Blade, Strider Flage, Ghost Stripes. I'm blanking today, guys. I apologize. Ghost Stripes, regular Tiger Stripes, you name it. Gunner Grip, Lego. On and on and on and on and on. So I'm really not always looking for another production Strider, but this was one that I've never had. I've never had a Strider with an aluminum handle. So this was one that they did with an aluminum handle this year. Flame lock side as usual. This is one of the smaller run knives that have come since Strider has restructured their business. And you can see here, it's marked with M Strider to kind of signify that. You can see that these stop pins are rounded off. They're kind of dome shaped. You can also see that there's a relief cut into the lock bar here, or milled into the lock bar. Another thing you'll notice is, now keep in mind, I just picked this knife up yesterday and I was traveling a good bit of the day, so I have not opened and closed this knife a ton of times. Maybe 20 times, maybe 30 times. So this is pretty much fresh out the bag. You can see here, if you know Striders and you know black oxide, the coating's not even been broken through. That's a glare. It's starting to slick over, but it hasn't even been broken through. And you can see here, it drops straight down. Centering is great. Mick is really upping his game here with these knives. If you hadn't had a Strider, if you were concerned, I mean, these are tools. I've never been too concerned. I've never had one with bad fit and finish. But if you've been concerned, oh, I've heard about fit and finish, oh, I've heard about this, oh, I've heard about that, I'd really try one of these newer Striders from Mick's shop. It's kind of some of the aspects of his Mid-Tex with the production Strider aspects as well. So it's a very nice marriage of the two things. The other thing about this knife and this run of knives that came out in the 20 CV steel, if you notice, it's marked CTS 20 CV. That's a mistake. So the first batch of knives that came out, the fatties, all of them that came out in this steel are mismarked. So these will be a little bit different than the ones to come. And I think listening to or reading what Josh has posted, I think in the future you may just even see 20 CV if and or when they use the steel again. So that's what I picked up. Now, the reason why I said I brought this out for a reason is this is an SMF I got later last year, 2017, and this was my first knife since Mick had been producing the knives out of his shop, and they had kind of scaled back. This knife here, also very, very well made. I thought it was very smooth. I noticed the same types of improvements, the relief in the lock bar. This one is still marked Strider, it's not marked M Strider, and this is PSF 27 blade steel. But I noticed the thumb studs were, or not thumb studs, the stop pins were a little bit different. Just a few changes. This is also a hybrid. They hadn't done the hybrid thing, to my knowledge, before this. So not this run, but before the business kind of changed over a little bit. So I noticed that there were some definite improvements. But now keep in mind, I've had this knife for easily 5 or 6 months. This knife, even with a heavier blade, you can see it doesn't drop nearly as well as the other one. It's still smooth, but I'm telling you, as time goes along, it's like more and more and more of the mid-tech custom aspects are coming into these knives, and he's really dialing these things in. I mean, this thing is smooth. You can see how smooth it is right there. It would drop all the way down if my thumb wasn't in the way. I'm just amazed every time I handle a newer production run of these knives. It's just, they're becoming more and more and more refined. And the thing is, the prices are pretty much staying the same. The way back in the day, S&Gs used to be $400, then they went up to $420. For this aluminum handled Strider, I paid $450 table price. You can't beat it. It's very hard to beat that. Something like a Hinder or Fire Attack, which I'm not knocking that knife. That's actually a knife that I'm interested in, and I'll talk about that in a second, is $425, $450 in that ballpark, if you can even find one. So you're getting a knife here that is a tank of a knife, and it's the same price as a Hinder or Fire Attack with G10, nylon or Teflon washers, I can't remember, and just a plain stone washed or working finish titanium side. So there's more work. This knife is a little bit heavier duty, and it's still the same price as a knife with less work and some different quality material. I won't say better or worse, because I know there's a place for those nylon or Teflon washers. So just wanted to talk about that. The other things that you'll pick up at Blade Show, I've got a whole stack of stuff here in front of me. Usually I get one of these Spyderco bags. Just dropped one of my koozies, but you get tons of koozies. There are t-shirts. You get all kinds of t-shirts. This is from holstersmith.com. This is from Smoky Mountain Knife Works.com. Great store. If you've never been to Smoky Mountain Knife Works, it's like the Walmart of knife stores. They even have a gun section. If they had a food court, you could do everything. And actually, we talked to the guys. That's the koozie I dropped. We talked to the gun guys from Smoky Mountain Knife Works at Blade Show, and they have a barbecue food truck that sets up outside now. So there is actually food at the venue. So here, this is what they gave you when you came in. There's like a microfiber cloth, again, Smoky Mountain Knife Works. There's a koozie, there's a deck of cards, there's some stickers, there's just stuff in here. I stopped by DLT Trading and talked to the guys over there. Great guys as always. They threw me a couple of stickers, which I think I have over here, and they threw me this microfiber cloth. So just, you always get tons and tons and tons of stuff. Lots of catalogs. I won't go through all of those. Just tons of stuff. The other cool thing is, you always end up bumping into some pretty cool people. And if you watch knife videos, and you've been keeping up here recently, I'm sure you've seen this sticker here. I actually had a chance to bump into, oh man, I'm blanking on her name now. Bird and Frankie, and I don't think that's the name of their channel, but Bird and Frankie. I didn't have a chance to talk to them because I was talking to one of my other friends, but before Bird left, she gave me one of these stickers. So hopefully I'll see him next year and I'll be able to talk to him. This right here is from my buddy Gary, our C2G Fab. He does awesome Kydex work. If you have a fixed blade knife, you're looking for some Kydex, please hit him up. Again, that's C2G Fab. You can find him on Instagram under that name, and I don't remember the exact web address, but he also has a website. So just Google C2, the number 2, GFab, and look him up. Blade was a little bit different this year. For those of you that have been before, I don't know. I'd look forward to seeing what you thought down below, but I just felt like the addition of the extra room, I didn't really make too much sense to me. I didn't really love a lot of the stuff that was in the extra room. I felt like moving the ticket booth where you pay to get in, that was a little bit weird to me. It seemed like the show stayed crowded way longer. I usually come on Saturdays. I did come on Saturday this year. Usually by lunchtime, the crowds kind of died down. We'll go eat some lunch. We'll come back to the floor, and you can move around a little bit easier. It actually seemed more crowded after lunch this year than it was before lunch. So that was very interesting. People had moved, tables had moved. Usually people stay in the same place. Some people that were usually there, some big names and some names that are up and coming, they weren't there. Like, for example, Bussy Knives, they usually have a huge booth at the back, almost like concert style, you know, kind of raised. They throw items out. They've got a loudspeaker. There are all kinds of raffles. It's always a lot of excitement. They weren't there. My buddy Fernando, Medina Custom Knives, if you don't know about him, check him out. He didn't show up. So just, you know, it was a little bit different than usual, but still a good show. I still come out. I am kind of considering not going to Blade in Portland, Oregon this year, this coming October, but possibly the following October. So 2 years from now instead of this one coming up. All in all, had a great time. As always, I wish I would have had more money. I would have picked up more stuff. I was surprised I came home with anything. I usually just buy my father some Father's Day gifts, which he got. I didn't cover that. If you're still with me, he ended up picking up that CRKT knife that I was showing you guys. If you follow my Instagram, he picked up 2 CRKT knives. Actually, they gave him a free one at Smoky Mountain Knife Works because he bought a CRKT knife. And what else did he pick up? He picked up a ZT. I don't remember the model, but he picked up an RJ Martin style ZT knife, and I want to say he picked up 1 or 2 other things, but he did pretty well. He was happy, so that's always a good thing. I always enjoy spending time with my dad. It's kind of a Father's Day thing that I try to do with him every year, so look forward to doing it again next year. If I didn't get a chance to bump into you guys this year, I definitely hope I get a chance to see you next year. I hope you guys are having a great weekend, and remember, a lazy man carries a dull knife.